What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Kai, and I'm back with another video. Hey man, say, look, listen. Bro, when I say, I'm not sure if y'all been keeping up. Hold on. Do I want natural light? I think I like that one. Alright. When I say that 2025 has been throwing, like it's been throwing jabs. 2025 has been throwing jabs. But it's all good. It's literally all good because it's literally all for our good. Um, I just been enjoying it. Like honestly, in hindsight, I've been enjoying it. In the moment, I've been questioning and wondering and contemplating, and I think we all have. So I'll include y'all in this. We've just been trying to figure out why is stuff not looking like how we thought it was gonna look. Why haven't things been as easy as we thought they were gonna be? And I truly think that it's because we are moving forward. The only times things are easy is when you're staying right there at the same level because you know what to expect. You know the environment, you know the energy. Nothing is changing, nothing is shifting, nothing is different, nothing is bigger. It's just everything exactly the same. It's just like working the same job in the same position for 40 years. You know what to expect. There's nothing that can throw you off as much as it is right now because it was the same. So I think it's truly because we are evolving, and that's the whole point of this. The whole point of this is evolution. The whole point of this is understanding that we have to unlearn everything that we've learned, because if we don't, we'll be stuck exactly where we don't want to be. I think the biggest thing that we're learning right now is our ability to create. And I feel like it's so funny that creators have the hardest time believing that we can create. Why is that? I think it's because we're so skeptical of our ability, that we see all the flaws. Other people will see that it's perfect and they'll be like, wow, that's amazing. Like, I could never do anything like that. But we see the process. We see every brush stroke. We see every shading. We see every sentence that we had to redo time and time and time again to get it to this point. So when people see the final image, we see the imperfections that took us to get there. So I think the way that ties into creation, being a creator, being the creators, is that we don't think that we can produce something to the expectation that we desire. Let me try to unpack that. I believe that we know that we can make decisions. I think everyone knows that we have an ability to choose. I feel as creators, we have a hard time accepting that it will not look how our insecurities want it to look. Is that real? Is that real? Because I'm thinking about myself, right? My insecurities want my insecurities to be perfected, to be without flaw, without fault, without any sort of unfavorness. I'm still working on expanding my vocabulary. And see, look, there it is right there. That's so funny. It's so funny, and it happens and we don't even know that it's happening. But our insecurities want our insecurities to be perfected. And I think that ties into our life. We want our life to look a certain way because we don't feel adequate otherwise. We don't feel adequate otherwise. And that's something that's completely fixable, right? It's going to take a lot of intentionality, but we can definitely fix that. And fix is such a strong word, right? But we can definitely give ourselves more ease. We can definitely give ourselves a break to accept, to be, uh, to show up as our true self. We just need a break, man. Like, we literally need a break. Does anyone else feel like that? Like, you've just been needing a break. You've been needing to get away somehow. You've been needing, like, relief. And it seems like everywhere we turn, it proves less and less real of a possibility to be at ease. Because it's either bills or friends or family or past decisions or like finances or our goals, or it's always something, very much something, that seems to be preventing us from doing what we want to be perfect. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. It's 12:34. Yeah, so I think that we just need to recognize that we are exactly where we need to be, and that we are receiving the abundance of life right now. We are receiving the abundance of our system. There's this quote that I read from Dan Heath. That's the book Upstream that I'm reading. And he says, every system is perfectly designed to get the results that it gets. How true is that? Think about your life, right? Let's think about, should we think about relationships? Yo, should we go that far to relationships? I'm trying to think of something that's not gonna trigger us. Let me see. Let's see a system. What's a system that we have in place? A system that we have in place: budgeting, spending, overspending, not spending on the right things, the lack thereof a budget. That system of not having a budget is perfectly designed to give us the result of overspending. And even if it's not overspending, it's perfectly giving us the result of not knowing where our money is going, not keeping a track of it. That, I feel like that's a perfect example. The system of not having a budget is putting us in a position to not know where our finances are, to overspend, to put money here when it probably could have been put here. So prioritizing. Every system, whether intentional or unintentional, is perfectly designed to give us the results that it gives us. So I say then, what should we do about that? Should we say fuck it, like, it's going to take too much effort, it's going to take too much energy to produce the right budget, or I don't have enough money to even think about budgeting. I don't have enough self-discipline to entertain the thought of restraining myself from spending money here and there. Or should we, which of course, is the right answer, should we create that budget? Just yesterday I created my budget. I used to be a person that was always gung-ho about to-do list and routine list and task and checklist and budgets, and could rarely follow them, right? follow them. I don't understand how that is. I'm a person that needs structure, but it's hard for me to commit to that structure. So yeah, just yesterday I created a budget, a realistic budget. Um, and I'm hoping that this system, this new system that I've implemented, is going to give me the results that I want. So the results that I get will be the results that I wanted to get, which is financial freedom, financial security, paying off debt, uh, putting money in places that are going to help my emotional well-being. I'm not just paying my bills and then wasting money on food. Don't act like I'm the only one doing that. Okay? Don't do that. Okay? I know some of y'all. Okay. So yeah. Um I'm hoping that this new system gives me exactly what I want to get out of it. And I feel like it will. I feel like if I commit to it, right? Because that was the problem before. The problem wasn't creating the system. The problem was committing to the system. So then we have to think about, why are we lacking commitment? Why is commitment so scary for us? Why? And it has to be scary because there's only two routes, right? And Erykah Badu said this the best on America, the album, the Purple album. There's only two frequencies: fear and love. So there's only two roots. If we think about why we spaz out on people and we're honest with ourselves, we get angry because we're afraid of being played. We're afraid of being mistreated. We're afraid of being left. We're afraid of having to defend ourselves. There's some reason behind anger. Anger is not a superior emotion. Anger is not a superior emotion. It's an emotion. So, and so we're operating out of two root energies, frequencies, fear or love. So I completely forgot what I was just talking about. So we are going to make a whole new conversation. Oh yeah, we were talking about knowing and realizing that we're on the right track, and that we just need to change our system in order to get different results. So yeah, I'm changing my system because and I was saying that creating a new system wasn't the problem, it was consistency. So we're operating out of two things: fear or love. So I was afraid, right? And if we're operating on a low vibration or a slower frequency, it's going to be fear. So I was afraid, and I'll say this for all the people who, the budget is an issue. Let's just speak like that. We're afraid that we won't have enough. So we don't even want to pay attention to what we have because we're like, it's not going to be enough, or it's not enough. And that's why we don't be checking our bank accounts how we should be, because we're just like, it's not going to be enough in there. I got you on that one, didn't I? I got you. It's not going to be enough. Some way, somehow, we're going to be struggling. And that's fear. That's fear. Right? So, changing the system as well, the system of our mind, to not lean into fear, but to lean into love. And that seems kind of crazy to even say. How can budgeting be led with love? I think if we expand our view of love when it comes to budgeting, we would see that it could be faithfulness. Having a sense of faith that everything is going to work out. Everything's going to work out in your favor, that you will not be in lack, that you will not be on your behind. I think that is love. Being grateful for what you do have and recognizing that you have everything that you need. I feel like that's operating out of love. When it comes to budgeting, I feel like speaking into your finances, affirming yourself when it comes to your finances, affirming your bank account, affirming your debit card, affirming your cash, affirming your savings account, affirming your bills, affirming your expenses and your income. I feel like speaking into those things is also operating out of love. So it might be a little more possible than we think. And that's just across the board, right? That's just across the board, operating out of love. And it just sounds so cringy because when I was brought up in this teaching, I was an adult, but when I was brought up in this teaching, it it was more Christian based, right? It was just like, believe that God will take care of everything, that you don't have to worry about anything, which I'm not saying isn't valid. I'm not saying it's not valid. I see it from a different perspective now, but it's still absolutely valid. So yeah, it just seems, because when you're out, when you're adopting more, you still have to deal with what you have, unless you pour out, completely disown everything that you carry. You're going to still have to acknowledge that there is something else there. So, and this is something that I don't want to dump out. I don't want to dump out Christianity, the teachings of Christianity. I will not dump that out. That's not something that's a plan of mine. So when I'm adding more to my vase, to my container, I have to realize that just because I'm uncomfortable, it doesn't mean either party is wrong. It just means that they're having to figure out how to coexist. And I've been watching this one YouTube video, and it's called Ants Canada. Shout out Ants Canada. Oh my God, I love this channel. I love this channel. So basically what he does is he's like a bug freak. So if you don't deal with bugs, I love bugs. There's some bugs I'm not fondling with, but I adore bugs. So he's a bug freak, and he has like terrariums, like vast terrariums that's like 10 feet wide, 6 feet tall, that he constructs, and it's made out of glass. He creates habitats. He's literally like the god of these terrariums. Like, he adds in different creatures periodically. He observes their interactions, and he doesn't. I think the only time that he's actually stopped something from happening was there was this invasive species of ants, and if he did not control it, they were going to I think it was fire ants. They were going to completely take over the entire ecosystem, and they got in by accident. So it wasn't an intentional placement, and then he was regretting it. It was like they came in from the outside, and now they were taking over the entire thing. So with that being said, realizing that we are living in what we create, and allowing for things to work together instead of forcing them or removing things that we're unsure about. If we know for sure, just like with the fire ants, I'm trying to make all this make sense, right? Because my skeptical brain is saying this does not make sense. If, say for instance, with the fire ants, right? If he would have left the fire ants in there knowing what they're capable of doing, we all know fire ants is like, you can't get rid of them mugs. Like, it be people who go to Home Depot, Lowe's type, Atwoods type, getting pesticides and all types of stuff to get rid of them, and they'll pop up somewhere else. They're invasive. They come in and they take over. That's basically what that means. So if he would have left them there knowing that this is exactly what's going to happen, what can you expect? Every system is perfectly designed to create the results that it gets. So if you know something for sure is going to set you off, if you know something for sure is damaging to your progression, then we have to take that responsibility to remove it and not give it chance after chance after chance to show us that it's not meant for our ecosystem. So yeah, I just wanted to share that message with y'all. I hope that everyone is having an amazing day. I hope that you continue to have a great day. And I hope that you thrive in everything that you do. Peace.